What if the search for youth could cost a celebrity the very face the world once loved? In Hollywood, the pressure to stay flawless has pushed some stars toward risky beauty choices with life-changing consequences. This video explores how fame, fear, and false promises led certain public figures down a path they never expected. From subtle touch-ups to dramatic transformations, their stories reveal a troubling truth about image, identity, and the hidden emotional price of trying to stop time forever. Lin May, a dancer and actress who became widely known across Mexico and Latin America in the 1970s, was admired for her beauty, charisma, and vivid stage presence. In the original account, her decision to pursue cosmetic work came from two desires: to preserve a youthful appearance and to address a facial asymmetry that had bothered her since childhood. She believed surgery could offer a safe and modern solution, so she trusted someone she thought was a qualified professional. That trust proved disastrous. Instead of using approved medical materials, the practitioner injected baby oil into her cheekbones, a dangerous non-medical substance that should never be used in the body. What was expected to be a modest improvement soon became a long-term catastrophe. Over time, Lin's face reportedly swelled, hardened, and became increasingly distorted, leaving her with severe deformities that shocked many people who had once followed her career. The physical effects were devastating, but the emotional pain was just as serious, bringing humiliation, heartbreak, and the difficult reality of no longer looking like the person she remembered. Although she later underwent numerous corrective procedures with skilled surgeons, the damage could not be fully reversed. Her story remains a powerful warning about unlicensed practitioners, unsafe materials, and the lasting harm that can come from trusting false promises when hope, aging, and vulnerability make a risky option feel like the only answer. It also shows how cosmetic decisions are never isolated from emotion. In her case, a wish to look refreshed and feel more comfortable with her own features opened the door to irreversible consequences that followed her for years. That is what makes her story especially tragic and unforgettable even today. Carol Bryan's story begins with what seemed like a small and ordinary goal. In 2009, at age 47, she sought routine facial fillers because she wanted a subtle refresh and hoped to restore a little youthful softness without dramatically changing her appearance. According to the original script, she believed the procedure would be minor. Instead, she was injected with inappropriate substances, including silicone, in her forehead and cheeks. Rather than giving her the gentle improvement she expected, the treatment caused visible swelling and major changes to her face. As time passed, the complications became more severe, bringing physical discomfort as well as overwhelming emotional distress. By 2013, the situation had grown so serious that she needed major reconstructive surgery in an effort to repair the damage. Even then, the cost was devastating. Carol reportedly lost sight in one eye because of optic nerve damage that could not be reversed. That loss affected every part of daily life, turning a cosmetic decision into a permanent medical crisis. What makes her story especially powerful is that she later chose to speak publicly about it. By sharing her experience, she encouraged others to research practitioners carefully, verify credentials, and never assume that a cosmetic procedure is automatically simple or low risk just because it is presented that way at the start. Her experience shows how quickly cosmetic treatment can cross into lifelong harm when patients are not fully informed about what is being used or who is administering it. More than a story of appearance, Carol's case is about trust, medical responsibility, and the painful lesson that no elective procedure should ever be treated casually, even when the promised change sounds small initially. Amanda Lepore's story stands apart from the others because it is framed less as a tale of deception and regret, and more as one of identity, performance, and deliberate self-creation. From a young age, she was fascinated by the glamour of classic Hollywood, especially the sculpted beauty, polished elegance, and heightened femininity of old movie stars. Inspired by that world, she imagined transforming herself into a living work of art, someone who could bring fantasy into everyday life. Over the years, she reportedly underwent breast implants, cheek lifts, rhinoplasty, and regular filler treatments. Each procedure became part of a larger artistic vision rather than an attempt to preserve a conventional look. Her appearance grew increasingly stylized, with dramatic contours and a doll-like quality that made her instantly recognizable. According to the source, Amanda viewed these changes not as vanity, but as a way of embodying the person she felt she was meant to be. Even so, the story still acknowledges the emotional and physical complexity that can come with extensive cosmetic work. Her transformation required commitment, risk, and a willingness to live with the consequences of pursuing such a singular image. Amanda's journey reminds viewers that cosmetic transformation does not always begin with insecurity alone. Sometimes it is tied to creativity, freedom, and the desire to align the body with an inner vision, even when that path demands extraordinary choices and carries very real costs. In that sense, her story adds nuance to the broader theme of the video. It suggests that changing one's appearance can be about authorship as much as approval, while still reminding us that every major transformation lives at the intersection of aspiration, embodiment, and consequence. Julia Tarasevich, described in the source as a 43-year-old former beauty queen from Russia, entered cosmetic treatment hoping for modest improvements rather than dramatic change. She wanted a more refined appearance as she moved into a new chapter of life, and that desire seemed small, personal, and understandable. Trusting the specialists she consulted, she agreed to undergo several procedures, including eyelid surgery, eye correction, and liposuction. What she expected to be a manageable step toward self-improvement quickly became a life-altering ordeal. Soon after the procedures, Julia reportedly suffered severe facial swelling along with a frightening loss of normal function. Ordinary movements such as blinking or fully closing her eyes became difficult or impossible. The impact went far beyond appearance. Her comfort, confidence, and everyday routines were disrupted, while the emotional shock left her feeling helpless and deeply betrayed by the professionals she had trusted. Eventually, she filed a malpractice lawsuit, arguing that the surgeons had failed her. In response, the doctor suggested that a rare genetic condition might be to blame, an explanation she firmly rejected. Determined to restore what she could, Julia reportedly spent her savings on corrective care and consultations with specialists in different parts of the world. Even so, she later acknowledged that her face might never return to its previous state. Her story stands as a sobering warning that even elective procedures presented as minor can result in lasting physical complications, emotional distress, and a future permanently shaped by one decision. More than anything, her experience highlights the hidden risks that can sit behind promises of enhancement. It shows how hope can turn into trauma when outcomes go wrong, and accountability becomes part of the struggle. Jocelyn Wildenstein was once a striking figure in New York high society, known not only for extraordinary wealth, but also for the very public turbulence surrounding her marriage to billionaire Alec Wildenstein. In the original story, her transformation is presented as something deeply emotional rather than purely cosmetic. Wanting to hold on to love and please a husband said to admire the power and beauty of big cats, she began pursuing repeated procedures in hopes of creating a more exotic and feline image. Those procedures reportedly included facelifts, eyelid surgery, cheek implants, lip enhancements, and jaw reshaping. Instead of producing a subtle refinement, each step appeared to move her further away from her natural appearance. Over time, her features became tighter, sharper, and more angular, to the point that the public and media began referring to her as Catwoman. That label turned her into a lasting symbol of extreme cosmetic alteration. Even though she has long insisted that her appearance comes from heredity rather than surgery, public speculation has never truly disappeared. Her story is often remembered not simply because of how dramatic the change looked, but because it reflects something human and painful. The hope that changing the outside might preserve love, admiration, or emotional security. In that sense, Jocelyn's journey stands as a cautionary reminder that vulnerability, longing, and beauty can become dangerously entangled when personal relationships and self-image begin to blur together. It also underscores how the pursuit of beauty can create consequences that extend far beyond public image. What starts as an attempt to become more desirable can reshape identity itself, leaving a person linked to choices made during a moment of emotional desperation and uncertainty. Meg Ryan was once celebrated as the embodiment of warmth, sincerity, and effortless charm in American film. Her expressive eyes, familiar smile, and natural beauty helped define an era of romantic comedies and made her one of Hollywood's most recognizable actresses. In the source material, her later appearance is presented as a striking contrast to the image longtime audiences remembered. Hoping to maintain the youthful look that had shaped much of her career, she reportedly turned to fillers, facelifts, and other anti-aging procedures. The intention seems understandable within an industry that often places enormous pressure on women to remain youthful regardless of age or achievement. Yet, according to the script, those efforts changed her features in ways that many fans found surprising. Her face appeared fuller and less flexible, and the subtle expressiveness that once conveyed so much emotion seemed reduced. For viewers who had associated Meg Ryan with a very specific kind of approachable beauty, the difference felt difficult to reconcile. Importantly, the original narrative frames her story not as mockery, but as a reflection on the cost of living under constant public scrutiny. Her experience points to a broader issue within entertainment culture: the expectation that women should somehow outwit time without ever visibly trying. In that way, Meg Ryan's story becomes a reminder that the pursuit of youth can alter the very qualities a person may have hoped to preserve most carefully in the first place. More than anything, it highlights how aging in public can become a burden. When appearance is tied to career identity, even cosmetic choices can carry outsized meaning, turning private concerns about change into a public conversation about image, femininity, and self-protection. Priscilla Presley had long been admired as a symbol of classic elegance, poise, and timeless beauty. For years, her appearance seemed to embody a polished image that audiences around the world associated with Hollywood glamour. But according to the original narrative, her experience changed dramatically when she trusted someone who was not what he claimed to be. Believing she was receiving a routine cosmetic enhancement, Priscilla was treated by a fraudulent practitioner posing as a qualified surgeon. Instead of safe materials, she was injected with industrial-grade silicone, an illegal substance that should never be placed in the human body. What was meant to be a simple beauty procedure became a long and painful ordeal. The injections reportedly distorted her facial features and caused complications serious enough to require multiple corrective procedures. Even with professional help afterward, complete restoration was impossible. The physical consequences were significant, but the emotional impact also ran deep. The story emphasizes shock, embarrassment, regret, and betrayal, all stemming from a decision she believed would be safe. Priscilla's case remains especially powerful because it shows that fame, wealth, and public recognition do not protect anyone from being misled by an unlicensed or dishonest practitioner. Her experience now serves as a cautionary reminder about the importance of verifying credentials, understanding what is being used in any procedure, and recognizing that even ordinary enhancements can carry long-lasting consequences when trust is placed in the wrong hands. More broadly, her story speaks to the vulnerability that can exist behind a maintained image. It reminds viewers that cosmetic decisions are never only about appearance. They can also affect health, confidence, and the sense of safety a person had in her reflection. These stories remind us that the pursuit of youth and perfection can come with lasting emotional and physical consequences. Behind every transformation is a person facing pressure, hope, fear, and difficult choices. In the end, true confidence cannot be built on appearance alone. If this video made you think, let us know in the comments which story affected you most. Please like, share, and subscribe for more celebrity stories, thoughtful comparisons, and then and now updates from the past and present alike.